All right, so this is the first in a series of videos. I'm going to talk about a number of different topics. We'll see how it goes. Would love some feedback on these. If you guys like them, if you don't like them, what was clear, what was not clear, if the audio sucks, if I'm sweating like crazy because I just finished a workout. That's totally cool. Let me know. So one of the topics we get from clients a lot is they'll be publishing content. This is related to SEO. So they'll be publishing content and not getting any SEO results, not getting any traction in search. And there's really two major reasons for that that are the most common. I mean, obviously there's a lot of possible issues going on in search. Search is fairly complex, but by far the most common reasons are that there's too much competition. So brand new companies competing against big incumbents are going to struggle for a while. It's really tough to do SEO right out of the gate. I mean, if you're a brand new company, I usually advise brand new companies not to do SEO at all until they're 2 years in at least. And the reason for that is SEO has a big brand awareness component. So Google is indirectly measuring brand awareness for SEO and using that to determine how you should rank. And obviously, if you're a brand new company, you have no brand awareness. And so all those signals that Google's going to measure that indicate you are a well-known brand are going to be non-existent. And so it's going to be almost impossible. That's a pretty significant factor in the ranking. So it's going to be almost impossible for a brand new company to rank unless there's just no competition, right? Vice versa, if you're a big brand, if you're a big fish in the pond, you're going to have a much better chance of ranking. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier for you. So you can use that to your advantage. You don't have to try quite as hard as the smaller guys. So that's a big one, the competition. If you're brand new and there's any competition at all, you're going to struggle for a while. It's typically not a good idea to do SEO for a couple of years if you're a brand new company. The other big thing that we see, and this applies typically to existing companies, that are doing ongoing marketing, publishing a lot of content. Usually those companies have already been around for a little while. So they're not brand new. And if they're struggling to see results, it's usually because they are publishing the wrong type of content. This is a huge topic in and of itself, and I don't have time in this video to go into it in depth. I'll try to cover it piecemeal in various videos. But most companies are publishing the wrong type of content if they're trying to publish content for SEO or, frankly, for any purpose. A lot of what we see is organizations will publish content that's like, it's got like a magazine style feel to it. It's like something you might find in, if that organization published a print magazine or like a newsletter or something like that. It's browsing content. So imagine you see a magazine, let's say like, you read The Economist, right? You pick The Economist up off the newsstand at the airport, and while you're on the plane, you're flipping through. You don't have an idea of what you want to read specifically. You're just browsing, right? That's a very different behavior from how people behave in search. People in search go to search to do a very, very specific thing, right? Hyper specific sometimes. Something like 60% of all searches have never been searched before. So hyper specific. You go to search with a mission. You're like a Navy SEAL. You're trying to get in and get out as quickly as possible. And so the content that's going to appeal to you when you're in search, when you're doing search, when you're searching Google, is going to be very, very different from the type of content that's going to appeal to you when you're on the airplane flipping through The Economist. And that is often the problem that organizations have. They're publishing content that's sort of like roughly on topic for what they do or for their brand or whatever. And usually it's this sort of magazine style stuff. It's stuff that you might read if you were browsing the website, or if you received it in a newsletter, or you saw it in a magazine, but you're not going to go to search and look specifically for that content. That's a big miss that we see, and it's usually the most common mistake amongst organizations that are publishing content on a regular basis, but still not seeing much traction in search. And if you switch that strategy, the results you can see are insane, like just dramatic improvements if you really understand how people search and cater content to them and how they behave. So I'll get into more on that in future videos, but those are the two major problems we see with organizations right out of the gate that really kind of torpedoes their SEO strategy.